You are extraordinary. More than you can imagine.
Welcome to Neverland!
This is not the end of me. This
Where's
is
the pan?
The Pan is our tribe's bravest warrior.
So, do you remember that you're dreaming? Hey guys, this is Brendan, and this is going to be a fun video because this is another conscious movie review. This time it's about the movie Pan. This is the new untold origin story of Peter Pan. This movie is a super shifty movie. It's a super consciousness shifting movie. It's worth seeing. A lot of people are gonna hate it. I enjoyed it. I can understand why a lot of people hate it, but there's a lot to really sort of admire about this movie because it does something that I think is intentionally different, but there's some really potent themes that are sort of weaved. There's a lot of interesting themes threaded through the tapestry of this story. The reason why I make these videos is around the idea of a term called synchromysticism. The simple concept that consciousness is helping educate and helping remember itself about the bigger picture and the bigger ideas through the symbolism that we see in Hollywood movies. The spells being casted by the Hollywood wand. One of the things that's really interesting about the Peter Pan story is it's actually really about the dream space. It's actually really about dream exploration, and dreams are a super important thing, something I'm really interested in and a lot of other people are interested in. The dreams are the space where the imagination creates. Going into this movie, it's important to keep in mind that Peter Pan's story began ages and ages ago, beyond the Disney interpretation of it. This movie is different. It is a new rendition, a new perspective on the Peter Pan story. So quick plot synopsis on this. Peter is left at an orphanage when he's just a baby by his mother, who gives him this little pan necklace that he keeps with him. And then from there, he's a 12-year-old boy in London, England during the war, and gets abducted by dream pirates who take him to the dream, aka Neverland. And from there, he runs into Blackbeard, who is a tyrannical overlord of this mining culture that has people searching for the precious fairy dust. Also, Peter learns that he is part of a prophecy because there's a prophecy about a boy who will learn how to fly within Neverland, within the dream, and from there will help lead a revolution of consciousness, free the people, and reunite the tribe. So this is a story about Peter going on an adventure and making new friends along the way, and also waking up within the dream and learning how to fly. So that's what this movie's about, and as you can see, it's all very exciting.
A boy who could fly. Come on, kid. Make them believe.
So one of the most interesting parts about this story is that the underlying theme of it, the main consciousness shifting theme of it, is that this is really about Peter's personal awakening. This is about him becoming lucid and becoming conscious within the dream, within Neverland. Here within this movie, we see that come to life in a very exciting way, where the viewer is sort of put in the situation of Pan, who is a reflection once again of this solar hero, this archetype, who is going into this journey of self-discovery, remembrance, and this very esoteric story of the very literal reconnection with the mother. And in this case, the mother is a symbolic representation of like the universe, the mother goddess, the Gaia, the Isis, alchemical marriage between ourself and our spirit, the alchemical process of refining our connection to our own temple, our own body, our own mind, our own spirit, our own soul, and that connection to our mother, to the bigger soul, to the universe.
I promise that you will see me again in this world
This is the beginning.
or another.
There's a lot of moments where it's very interesting in terms of like what they're visually presenting on screen and how that relates to like dream ideas. For example, when they first leave, when Peter first goes to Neverland, he's taken on a pirate ship, and the pirate ship it goes up through the clouds, and then it like goes into the stars, and then it like comes back down. And for me, I was just like, wow, that is very similar to the actual sensation that you get when you're consciously falling asleep and you notice like your astral body kind of like moving out of your body. It is like astral body traveling into the astral realms, aka Neverland. Simple tips if you're interested in exploring your dreams. The simplest suggestion would be to write down your dreams. Keep a dream journal with you. There's lots of tips. You can check out more on my channel, and yeah, just really do your own research and create a practice for yourself.
It was written, when you returned, you'd unite our people against the pirates.
Mind if I cut in?
What if I failed to fulfill the prophecy?
And what if you fail to try?
The person who made this movie, Joe Ray, the thing that I'm really interested in is what he has personally experienced and how that has led him to brought this onto film. Whether or not this guy has actually like fully studied the lucid dreaming experiences, he has looked into the esoteric arts. In this case, I think it's more likely than not that he actually has, and maybe whether or not he's actually had his own psychedelic experiences, or if this is just literally like consciousness, like kind of unconsciously coming through, and this guy's just like, oh yeah, that'd be a cool story, and then they'll go to the crystal dimension of the fairies. Yeah, that sounds cool. Like, lo and behold, it actually happens. Like, there's a part in the movie where they actually go through this portal, through this Stargate. There's lots of Stargates and portals in this movie, and again, like, that's why, like, this movie is all about like the dream space. Peter doesn't really fully know it's a dream at the same time, but he does know it's a dream, but he doesn't realize his potential within a dream, which again is our story within our own dreams. Every night we go to sleep and we are in the potential to create this magical world around us through the power of our thoughts, and that's what the study of lucid dreaming and dream exploration is all about. But it takes like a heart awareness to sort of tap into that potential. And so one of the most iconic scenes within the movie is that like Peter gets like pushed off of a plank by Blackbeard, and he's falling and he's falling and he's falling, and it was really cool because for me as the audience, there were many points throughout this movie where I got those activation sensations, the tingling sensation of the spine, which I think is a really important sensation to be connected and aware with, because to me it sort of represents like this like activation sensation. The more we have it, the more it's like representing like the interconnectedness between like our cells and energy flowing through. And so Peter's falling and falling, and then within my mind I was just like you can fly. Like, you can fly. Like, this is a dream, you know? I was putting myself into the place of Peter, and then lo and behold, Peter flies, and he's just like, shh, you know, he's sort of hovering there, but he doesn't fully understand how he's doing it, so then he falls. And then the rest of the movie is about him like being sort of like put on the spot to fly. They're like, you have to fly by day 3 or else. And so like that is like what this story is moving towards. And then eventually it gets to that point where by the end, when they're inside of the fairy crystal kingdom sort of thing, which is super awesome in itself, it really emphasizes a literal point that like if Peter wants to fly, like he has to like consciously think that he can fly. Like he realizes that it's his thoughts. If he stops thinking, then he falls, sort of thing. And that's literally what happens within the dreams, within the dream space, within lucid dreaming. You know, like if you think you can fly, you can fly. So it's really about projecting your intentions. And you see Peter literally creating. He's using the fairies in one scene to like move them around with the thoughts in his mind, and that's where it becomes more dreamlike than what we would see in the Disney version. And he's like, you know, think happy thoughts, and he like shoots like the fairies at Blackbeard at one point. But it's a really cool thing because it's like, again, this interconnectedness with him being attached to like every particle in the universe. And then in the very last scene in the movie, his mother actually appears to him, and again, you know, like you'll still be able to enjoy this even if you've heard this review and you go see it, but his mother appears to him inside the fairy realm. And you know, I'll just say that, I won't really say much more, but it's this very touching and moving scene that will really like, it has the potential to make people cry. It has the potential to open up your heart, because you're not just seeing Peter connecting with his mother, you're seeing us connecting with like the bigger us, and you're just like, oh my god. And the message that is quite obvious is that, you know, Peter's mother, aka the universe, is saying like, you know, like, I will always be with you here in the dream. Like everywhere I am part of the dream already, you know, like that is anywhere you look, you can see me, sort of thing. And that's kind of the idea, is that like we're constantly like getting this like hug from the universe, and that is like the love of like the dream itself coming through us. So it's a really exciting movie in that sense.
He wears the pan.
The pan is our tribe's bravest warrior.
Something that you got to keep in mind as to why the pan is important within this story. The pan is the instrument that makes sound. It is something that is connected with the harmonics of the universe. And the musician of their own will, the person who is connected with their own harmonics to be able to play their own instrument, their body, their vehicle, within this bigger verse, within this one verse that we are all creating music as. The solar hero waking up to their rainbow harmonics within this, you know, the hues of many color. We are the humans, we are the instruments of the universe in that sense. So, cymatics, sacred geometry, it's all real, yeah. person with the pan is recognized as like the strongest warrior, but again, you know, the warrior is one with perseverance and dedication. It has nothing to do with violence. The warrior who is dedicated to the purification of their own spirit, the internal alchemy in that sense. Keeping in mind that this movie is about the characters in the movie, but it's really about us. It's really speaking to us as the individual, the person within this bigger dream. What I really liked about this movie was the idea that the theme around Peter's story, around Pan's story, was all about him stepping into his destiny.
Are you brave, Peter?
I try to be.
Within the prophecy, it is talked about how Peter will help change the world, he'll help transform things, he will help alleviate suffering. And so that is really interesting because that is parallel to our story right now. It is about us learning how we can fly, literally within our dreams through lucid dreaming and dream exploration and expanding our consciousness and bringing mindfulness back into the self, but also in a less literal metaphorical sense in terms of like our everyday life, so to speak, you know, like let's learn how to fly, let's learn how to enlighten ourselves in that sense. But along with this prophecy, it's really interesting because Peter is also very reluctant to it, you know? They keep asking him, they're like, are you the one? Are you the one? And he's like, I don't know. And a part of him is like really resisting this, which again is, I think, in terms of the solar hero journey, a really important part, because that is something that is natural, because with this idea of stepping into our potential, it also means responsibility. But when you see the difference that you can make in someone else's lives, it helps empower you. And when you see them looking at you as hope, and you see the difference that like your actions can impact on other people's reality, it helps move you forward to realize that maybe I can do this. Maybe I can be a catalyst for change. Maybe I can be the one that will help bring a new vision to Neverland.
If you don't believe Peter, then neither will they.
And so one of the other things that I'll mention just before we wrap up this video that I think was really cool is that the natives that we see within the story, again, within the Disney version we're used to them being like Native Americans. Here within this version, they're actually more closer to like a transformational festival tribal family, which is super cool. This movie is putting these themes into it, you know, like oneness and unity and tribalism and awakening to our mother goddess spirit within us. And so you see Tiger Lily, and Tiger Lily in this one is like a tribal hippie warrior girl who's like super badass in her own way, and I think that was actually a really cool thing, and I'm totally okay with the fact that they did that. So this is something that we're actually seeing more of within this dream, these activated female guardian warriors who are connected with the earth. This movie is actually telling a very important esoteric story about the awakening of our consciousness, the awakening of the conscious mind within the dream to be able to step into our potential. Part of the big kicker is understanding that when you realize that you can create within dreams, you can create within this reality, because this reality is another version of the dream with very specific rules that we have stepped into to be able to play this game in a fun, exciting, and very interesting way. So that is why this movie is important, because it is helping us wake up within this dream. So when you get around to seeing this movie, I really encourage you to sort of watch it as a meditation, to really take it in as spiritual medicine for your inspiration that will help you continue to transform and awaken within this bigger dream that we are all in, to see this as a reflection of your personal journey, as our personal journey, as the Pan, as the heroic Pan, the person who will be able to tap into the harmonics of the universe, to be able to change it through their will and through their thoughts and through the imagination. Remember, you're always going to be dreaming. It's just a matter of whether or not you're awake.
You are extraordinary. More than you can imagine. I promise that you will see me again. In this world.
This is the beginning.
Or another.
This is not the end of me. This is the beginning.
Remember you are dreaming, wake up, and go see the Pan movie. Leave your comments and thoughts below as to what you thought if you saw it too, and subscribe to this channel for more videos, and I shall see you guys in the future. And yeah, remember you are dreaming, and happy thoughts. One love. Peace.
Are you brave, Peter?
I try to be.
The little one, he wears the pan.
The Pan is our tribe's bravest warrior. It was written, when you returned, we would unite against the pirates.
If Blackbeard is going to destroy everything, I'll stand against him.
Now kneel.
I will never bow to you.
Wakey, wakey! Away we go!
We have an ancient prophecy. It tells of a boy. A boy who would be disappeared from this world until he was old enough to return. And lead an uprising against me. A boy who could fly. Come on, kid. Make them believe.
I believe. I believe.
Thanks again for checking out this video, you guys. I just want to be able to invite and remind you to please subscribe and explore my YouTube channel for even more paradigm shifting content. On there, you'll be happy to find the full-length movies that I've been working on called the Journey to Lucidity saga, which is actually inspired by the Pan story in its own way and is all about the hero's journey and dream exploration. So that's part of the reason why I was really excited about doing the Pan review, and again, I'm excited to be able to share the Journey to Lucidity movie with you guys. So find the links below and stay tuned for more paradigm shifting content, share it with your friends, and I shall see you guys in the future. One love, peace.